So I had Chipotle for dinner last night and didn't end up eating it all. And guess what I got to have for breakfast this morning? All right, before any of you say anything, yes, I'm wearing the exact same clothes as I wore yesterday. And the truth is, sometimes when you wear a piece of clothes long enough, it just becomes kind of like a friend and a little bit hard to part with. So that's why. Anyway, today I am hitting up Kansas City. I cleaned out St. Louis yesterday, and now it's about 7 o'clock. I'm gonna drive in and hopefully get there around 10 o'clock when the pawn shops are opening up, make my circuit around the city. I've got my route planned out, and we'll see what we can come away with. Some things I'm on the lookout for today include a Wii to go with a couple Wii Sports that I have. Definitely some DS's if I can find them. I only bought one of those yesterday. A PS3, because I didn't buy any of those yesterday. I found a few that were marked at like 70 to 100. And then obviously a ton of games. So all of these, if you don't know, are going to be sent off to Amazon FBA to be resold and make some solid profit, hopefully. So yeah, let's go. All right, well, it's 11 o'clock, getting a little bit of a later start than I would really like, but we have arrived and it's time to go get some finds. Well, the only thing that place had that was close was a PS3 160 gig for 70 bucks. Said he could give it to me for 65, but I can only get about 100 for it, and that's just not quite the margin that I like to be at for consoles because they do require a little bit more work. So yeah, passed on that, and we'll see what we can find at the next one. Well, I'm on the board. So they weren't super negotiable on their consoles or their later games, but I did stumble upon a couple of these. They were marked at 50 cents and 25 cents. So he said that they're somewhat scratched up, so I will run them through the resurfacer, but figured it was worth the risk, and yeah, picked up 102 Dalmatians for the PlayStation 1, and then also Mortal Kombat Armageddon. These will go for like $9 and $10 a piece if I can get them to work, so I will take it. All right, so just had a decent pickup here. Got two 3DSs, which I was looking to get. Paid up for them a little bit more than I normally do, just because stuff's been a little dry. This guy, they actually both were 60. They do each have the charger, so that's good, and it was out the door, so that's what I'm all in. Should get $30 to $40 profit on this guy after fees, and maybe like 40 to maybe 50 on this guy. So yeah, not bad. I'm willing to compromise a little bit more on the margins on handhelds just because they are much easier to like pack up and ship out. So yeah, pretty solid profit there for one little stop, and he also threw in a Connected Ventures just as a bonus because I usually bundle those with sensors. So yeah, not bad. So this is kind of cool. I didn't get anything at my last stop, but as I was driving to my next one, I just saw on the side of the road this Cache America pawn that for some reason didn't come up in my maps when I was planning my route. So gonna head in there and cross my fingers for some good deals. All right, so something very unusual and exciting just happened in that last minute stop. Most of the shops around here are pretty cleaned out because, like I said, of tax season. This one, like almost all their DSs were gone, all their PS4s were gone. It was crazy. They had a really good selection of games, but the reason was They price according to GameStop, so they like beat GameStop by a little bit, and they individually look up everything, which means there's almost never going to be any room for me to make any money unless they're willing to negotiate a lot, which they really weren't. So I didn't think I would be walking out of there really with anything until I started looking at the games, and I saw not one, but 2 copies of Tomodachi Life. Guys, I've talked about this game before. This has been so good to me. I've sold like 3 copies for $40+. One of them for like $55 or something. And one of them was marked at $5.99, the other one at $14.99. And the weirdest thing was I asked him like what he was gonna do on the price. He looked it up and saw that they were selling used on GameStop for $30. And he said, yeah, I can still honor the price. I was like, okay, I'll definitely take the $5.99, but what would you do on this guy? And he said, he thought about it for a while and was like, I'll just match the other one. So I said, okay, that's cool. So incredible margins on those. Got Nintendogs and Cats, which goes for, I believe, $15 or $20 after fees, and that was $3. Then I got this Shin Megami Tensei game. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Jake. He alerted me to this guy. Apparently, almost any of his games are usually going to be worth something. I scanned it. It was going to be worth $30 after fees on Amazon. And he couldn't find it when he looked it up. So he's like, I'll just do the same price as the other one, $6. So really nice score on that. And then I saw a bunch of disc-only games. And I'm always on about disc-only games at pawn shops, hanging on the wall. And I said, what are you guys doing on those? He was like, well, we normally just use them to test, but I guess you can look at them. And I found some gems. A copy of Nintendo Land. This is just to bundle with any Wii U's that I get. And I actually just got one yesterday, so that's good. Wii Sports, which I'm always looking for Wii bundles, so that's really solid. Naruto Ninja Storm 4 on the PS4, and also Grand Theft Auto 5. Those are each like $10 games, and I got them all for $10. So really nice stop there. Paid $33 all in, and it's all worth, I think, about $140. So super solid finds at that stop, and this is definitely going on my map for next time. All right, just picked up a couple of those things you guys just saw in the case. Got a 3DS XL Red for $50, which is not bad. Should get around 90 for it. Then picked up another black original 3DS, which was $60 plus tax, which is not great, honestly, except that it had Mario and Luigi Dream Team inside it, which is like a $15 or $20 game. So that brings the margins back to where I like them to be, which is pretty nice. Then he also, because he couldn't give me a discount at all on them, that's actually what they were marked as, he threw in 3 free kind of junky 3DS games, and also this Just Dance 2016 for the Wii. That'll go for about $7. Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit will go for around $9. I'll throw him in a different case because his label's coming off. Tekken Tag Tournament, I think, is around $7. And then Heavenly Sword is just like $5. But yeah, not a bad deal at all, and happy to be getting a little bit more traction and finding some DSs today, because I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to get any this trip. Here's a little pro tip for you guys. Pawn shops don't have bathrooms. And if you're not careful, you can find yourself just holding it for most of the day. So you have to be very opportunistic about when you relieve yourself. As an example, I told myself like 6 stops ago that I was gonna find somewhere on the way to go. Kept getting distracted and getting excited about the next stop, and here I am, still have not. I mentioned earlier, my clothes are like my old friends, but I've got a couple more friends right now that are a little older than I'd like them to be that I'm looking to part ways with, but I have yet to do that because there are no bathrooms in pawn shops, guys. So, words of wisdom. That one's free, guys. I'll be here all week. Cash America just came in clutch. Got a black Wii bundle here with 2 controllers for $25. Then I got this guy also for 25 with the charger, should go for around 50. And then the find of the stop was this Mass Effect Trilogy for the Xbox 360. I think this guy should go for about 40, and I picked him up for 7. So that was a really solid find of it. Never actually found that collection before, but anytime I find a trilogy, a collection, anything like that, I always scan it because I'm often surprised at how much they're worth. Well guys, it's happened. I've stripped. Bad prices, did not negotiate. Just got out of my 4th Cash America and was barely able to keep the streak alive. Got these 2 games for $5 total. Legend of Starfy goes for like 7 or so. And then I got World of Final Fantasy on the Vita, which is worth around 10. So not too bad, and gonna keep going. Just had another solid stop. Gotta be quick about this because pawn shops are closing. Check this out. Picked up 3 Mario and Luigi Dream Team pre-downloaded game 3DSs. 2 of them are in kind of crappy shape, so I'll probably have to sell them as acceptable. And then a red 3DS. Got them all for around 60 and should make about $40 a piece on them. So I just did something pretty abnormal. I was in this Cash America here, and most of their games and consoles were not at a good price. I did see they had some 3DS games that I wasn't sure about. I knew they were valuable, but did not see a price on them. Everything else was priced according to market value, not flat. But there were 2 people in front of me, and both the cashiers were occupied. And so normally I just would have waited and like made sure that the 3DS games were actually individually priced, because if they are, there's not much money to be made. But it's half hour till closing time at the last place I wanted to go, and it's 10 minutes away. So I just got out of there, and I'm gonna check this place out before it closes. Hopefully my feeling was right, my gut was right, and the games were individually priced in there, but I guess I'll never know, or until I'm in Kansas City again, at least. Well guys, the risk paid off this time. Came out with 9 disc-only games that they only charged me $2 a piece for, and I believe almost all of them, even in disc-only condition, are worth at least 10. So really stoked about that. Some of them include Naruto Storm 4, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Forza 7. I actually wasn't sure about this one. Call of Duty World War II on the Xbox. Tom Clancy's Division 2. Blops 4. Dying Light is a good one. Jackbox Party Pack is a good one. And Tekken 7. So some solid pickups there. There were a few that I didn't really know what they were worth, but I think they're all worth at least 7, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, guys, pretty solid day considering the time of the year it is. Overall, pretty happy with the results. I think I ended up hitting 17 or 18 stops today, so not as many as yesterday, but definitely still hustling. I was out from 7 to, I think I'll get back to Nebraska around 10. So yeah, definitely still hitting it hard, but thank you guys, as always, for coming along. Drop me a like if you liked it, and I will catch you guys on the flip.